Hey guys, Brandon with jazzprocenter.com, and today I am going to do a introduction video because I don't think I've done one, and y'all don't even know who I am. So how am I supposed to get more subscribers if you don't know me on a personal level? So that's my bad. Anyway, name's Brennan. I have 3 dependents and a wife who's very supportive, probably more supportive than she should be, being honest. But growing up, my dad owned a wholesale business. He went around to all the stores selling stuff wholesale to the stores. Then, y'all would buy it from the stores. He did, I think, 24, 25 years. This was a guy who didn't go to college, didn't, probably wasn't the smartest in school, if we're being honest, but he made a killing in sales. He had a silver tongue. He could sell ice to an Eskimo, right? His business was doing over $1 million a year easily in the 90s and early 2000s before the economy crashed in 2008 and everything. So, I grew up in that environment. I'm the oldest of 4. I would go help him during the summer. He would give me a box of stuff to sell. I'm like, all right, Brandon, this is your box to sell this today. And I would go to each of the store managers and sell my box. And it was probably, now that I'm an adult, it was probably great on his part because they bought from me because here I am, 7 or 8 years old. Hello, sir, would you like a snow globe or whatever it was, and oh yeah, and they would buy it because I'm asking for it. You don't want to say no to a kid, and then he's getting the money for it anyways. So I see what you did there, Dad. That was pretty smart. But so then that's how I grew up. I've been in sales most of my life. Matter of fact, the job I have now, I'm in construction now. I design plumbing and mechanical pipe systems for new buildings. But this is the first job I've had where I wasn't in sales. I've sold cards, I've sold beer, I've done the route sales with Dad. I was a store manager. I've been on the retail side. All about the sales. I grew up there. I could sell anything to anybody, but I do not have charisma to be on camera. I'm just being straight up with you. This right here, YouTube videos, is the hardest part of my business. I just being honest with you. But when I go to shows, I'm a whole different man. Person, face to face, love it. The shows is the favorite part of my business. I do have eBay store and TCG Player store. Actual stores, I pay the subscription to eBay. And I don't like the eBay fees. It's kind of expensive. I promote everything at 2%, so eBay fees are like 15%. TCG Player, the fees are lower. They're like closer to 10.5%, but they're so slow to pay. So slow to pay. And I will be honest with you, eBay, I can sell at market plus shipping. TCG Players market with shipping most of the time. So I don't know. I got the website going. I've had a few sales off that, nothing too crazy. Everybody says it's because I need more content. That might be so, but then again, I ain't got the charisma to be on camera like this, so I'm working on it. So I want to do the introduction video. But so growing up, 1996, never forget it. My grandma took me to Kmart, and in the video game section of Kmart, which Kmart now is Hobby Lobby. So where our Kmart it was is now Hobby Lobby. I don't even know if there's any more Kmart. If you live by Kmart, let me know in the description. But I saw Pokemon Blue, and Grandma bought me Pokemon Blue. I asked for it. That woman loved me that she would have bought in. She would have bought me Blue, Red, and a new Game Boy if I wanted it. I mean, seriously, I already had a Game Boy, and I remember playing Pokemon Blue for the first time. My dad bought me the original Game Boy. I had the carrying case that looked like a big Game Boy, and he brought me the little light that you put on top of it, and of course, it took 4 AA batteries, but he also had me the battery pad that you put into the wall and the green screen and all that. And I played Pokemon so much as a kid. Blue was my favorite. It's still one of my favorite games of all time, of any game, right? And I remember being as a kid, I picked Bulbasaur first. I don't know why. I want to say I was playing the video games before I watched the cartoons. And picked Bulbasaur first. thought it was so stupid lynch seed because you can only hit them once, and then I didn't realize what it was doing, and everything. And of course, growl sucks and tail whip and all the the stack growing moves that you use now as an adult or sorry moves as a kid. And played blue. I want to say I played yellow too. And I was 10 when I got blue. I got some Pokemon cards as a kid, like every kid does. I remember opening up a first edition Holo Raichu. Can't remember if it was fossil or base set though. That's on me. And that was just the coolest thing. I had my Pokemon, but I remember getting in trouble at school for taking Pokemon cards to school. And then very quickly I got out of Pokemon because I was in middle school going to high school. Whoa. You like Pokemon, nerd? Yeah, so like everybody, I got too cool to get in Pokemon. And then probably when I was I'll be 40 this year. So probably when I was like 25-ish, I bought a 3DS and got Pokemon Black. And fairly shortly after starting, I realized, where's the Gen 1 Pokemon? What the fuck is this? So, of course, Google wasn't a thing back then. Or maybe I just wasn't using Google like I do today. Today I live off Google. But I bought the strategy guide too. So I'm flipping through the strategy guide, seeing what route, a Gen 1 Pokemon is on, and found out that it's Gen 5 only. You can get some of the other gens after you beat the game. Oh. So honestly, Black was not one of my favorite ones. I think I ended up getting Black too. They put other gens in that one, if I remember correctly. It was pretty good. I played that one a while. But now that I'm older, I'm like, that's one of my favorite ones to play. You can beat it, get the challenge mode, give it to another account. And then I think I've played like everyone since then. And I have almost every Pokemon game. I have a Pokemon collection. I've had it since I was probably I bought the games, but I didn't probably start buying Pokemon stuff till I was like 30 when I became debt free. And then I started collecting Pokemon things, mainly Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur's still my favorite. And I got blue, red, yellow, silver, gold, crystal. I got platinum too. Diamond, pearl. I mean, I got them all. Most of them are completing bots. I even got the big bots, completing bots of heart, gold, soul, silver. Tongue tie there. I still have my gaming collection. I collect a lot of handheld games, a lot of handheld consoles. I have plenty of them, multiples of different consoles. Some of them new in bots, some of them been open. I game every night, so I'm still a gamer at heart. But a few years ago, 3 years ago, this is my third year. Matter of fact, this is my third year. 3 years ago, me and the wife were wanting to buy a new house, and we were having to save up money. And I was spending a lot of money on my video game and Pokemon collection at the time. And we came to the agreement that out of our budget, no more could go to fund money till we bought a house. So I was like, okay. Gears started turning. I mean, I'm a businessman at heart. I'm a salesman at heart. So I took a small little bit of my personal collection. Some of my least favorite things. None of it was Pokemon, but like Digimon and different like other games that I had. Put it up on eBay. Started selling on eBay. Then before you know it, I'm buying used video games on Facebook Marketplace and other places, and getting them in, selling eBay, getting them in, cleaning, testing. I'll buy lots, and I would spend all weekend. Sometimes I'll talk the wife into it, and we spend all weekend cleaning and testing video games. I have every console there ever is right now because of that. I was still building up my gaming collection, kind of like Phoenix Resale would do, building up his gaming collection off of the profits that I was selling. So my first year really wasn't too much of a business. If that was an actual business, I filed taxes on it. But I was definitely growing my inventory right? Take that for what you will. And then honestly, it got to the point where I ended up getting a distributor, SYAB. Get my video game accessories from them. I sell a lot of those still to this day on eBay. But it got where it just wasn't worth the effort of cleaning, testing, clean again, test, clean again, test. Opening up consoles, trying to see if I can figure out what's wrong with it. I'm no engineer like that. And it just wasn't worth it. So I kind of slowed down on it, and I started playing Pokemon Pocket. And just when I thought the business was about to kind of go away, because I was slowing down, I won't buy any more video games. Like, it just wasn't worth the whole squeeze. I was still doing the retail arbitrage as like the clearance. At that time, you could get a lot of those video games on clearance. So I was buying the clearance video games. The rumor at the time was Walmart was getting out of video games. I don't know if you remember that rumor or not. And so they had put a lot of video games on clearance. And I went and bought a lot of video games on clearance. They're sitting on the shelves. It wasn't like scalping Pokemon products. They were on clearance. Nobody was buying. But I would buy them, and I would put them on eBay and sell them. But anyway, play Pokemon Pocket. And I'm like, well, I'm going to spend money on fake cards. I'll go buy some real cards. So went and bought some real cards at Target. I was able to get some Surgeon Sparks. I got an ETB and some loose packs. And came home, ripped them open. My wife, she's older than me. She's never been a Pokemon fan. I gave her one pack to open. I opened up the rest of them. The next week, went back to Target. Don't remember what it was, but I got probably Shroud of Fable, or I don't know. I don't remember. But I got Shroud of Fable one time from Target. Got some more packs. Brought them home. Gave my wife the one pack. And we did that probably 3 or 4 weeks, Friday nights. We'll have our day nights. The kids will go to, like, the grandmothers or something. And then shortly after is when the market went crazy. And I remember I went out to Target to buy more packs, and they didn't have none. Went to Walmart, didn't have none. Went around and drove to some Dollar Generals, because I literally at this time didn't know where to go. I Googled, found out Dollar Generals had some. Went to some Dollar Generals. I was able to get a few packs. I think I only got like 10 packs. You got to think, like, at this time, I was probably bringing home 30, 40 packs, and I was opening them all and letting the wife open up one. Because, like I said, she ain't a Pokemon collector. And so you come home with these like 9 or 10 packs, whatever, and however many I got, and I start ripping them. Seeing what I'm getting and stuff. I ripped them all. And my wife said, "Where's my pack?" "The fuck you mean, where's your pack? You don't like Pokemon." It's like, "No, but this is our thing. I get one pack." And I'm like, "What do you mean you get one pack? I'm being nice giving you a pack." And she was like, "No, I get one pack." And then ever since then, every Friday night for a while, there was our date night. I would go out when I get off work, go buy 5 more packs, bring them home, and we would split them up 50-50. And they kind of got out of hand, and we were ripping 60, 80, 200 cards a Friday night. Just tearing. She ended up pulling in the Eevee from Twilight Masquerade. Have all the Eevees in the living room. She ended up pulling that. Loved it. Very cute card. And I was like, "You want to keep it?" And she was like, "I don't have Pokemon." I said, "No, keep it. You think it's a cute card?" Now she has like 4 binders. I still only got 3. She has 4. She collects by the artist and cute Pokemon, obviously. So now we have Pokemon collection, and it got to so I remember I bought Sea and Sky boxes from Sam's Club. This was before the limit. I got 31 of them. All right, and before you say anything, this was before I brought Pokemon into my business, right? I bought 31 of them. We opened 26 of them bad boys. I put a 5 up for investments, and I opened up 26 of them. Greatest couple nights we had. Yeah, that's right. We opened the horse piss out of them, and then I was like, we got a lot of cards. I'll start putting some up on eBay, and I remember like the Mew and everything from Crown Zenith. I mean, in the Pikachu, they're like $6-8 a piece on eBay. The Gengar, smoking Gengar, like $4. I mean, they were like, and I'm like, these ain't even worth it, man, honestly. And I was just telling her how much work it was to put on eBay. And eBay's taking such a big percentage. That still hasn't changed. So we go to a card show. She's like, "Oh, I'll help you do this if you get in this." Really? Because she doesn't help on eBay, which is fine. She does a lot around the house. I don't expect her help on eBay. eBay's my baby. I raised it. So that got us in the car show. We signed up for our first car show April of last year. And literally, I just took my spare cards and some spare packs I had. And that was it. New vendors. If you're new, beware of other vendors. I tell this to some of my other friends who have gotten into vending after me, because veteran vendors will smell you. I mean, that sounds weird, but they smell blood in the water, right? And they will take advantage of you. I remember I sold so much of my stuff so cheap to other vendors, and it was like once word got out, all the vendors kept coming to me, and they were buying my stuff so cheap. I didn't know what I was doing, and then after the fact, after it was all said, I was just shouted. After I was all said and done, I came, oh wow, I really got screwed. And at the second show, they tried. I mean, one of them who beat me up really hard, he tried again. I said, "Nah, dude, we're not doing this again. How about I go to your table and offer you 50%?" And he hasn't been back to my table since. But yeah, it was a learning experience. Have fun. I love doing shows. I'm now up to 3 tables. I buy stuff by the cases now. I rarely ever go out anymore to find things because first of all, I got too hard. I got a full-time job. The only people who can get stuff now are the scalpers who wait in the mornings. I can't do that. I got to work. And so it got to where I was driving all over God's creation. Sometimes I would be like, I ain't got nothing. Yeah, and try to. I'm growing at the speed of cash. I don't believe in debt. So you have to start off small and grow big. I did from the first year to the second year. I 3x my business as far as sales. And this year, I've already matched what I did all of last year. So I'm on par to almost double. So I should be in 6 figures this year of sales, not profit. Plan is to keep the profit minimum as possible. Keep buying, and that's what I'm doing. I'm spending money just as fast as I can get it. I can do that right now because I have a good full-time job. My wife has a good full-time job, so we are blessed in the fact we don't have to take money out of the business. That's one thing I don't think my dad understood in the beginning. I think he does now, but he said, "Well, you need to pay yourself. You need to pay yourself something. You need to pay." And it's like, and I knew where he was going, and his heart was in the good place. And I'll probably tell my kids, "Hey, you deserve some money for that working all weekend." But my thing is, I want to nourish the business, grow the business, debt free, as least amount of stress as possible on the business. So then, in the next couple of years, I have this huge business, that I can live off of. So right now, while we have our good jobs, I am, throwing it. If I sell $1,000, I'm spending $1,000. If I sell $2,000, I'm spending $2,000. And that's how it goes. I mean, my checking account goes. Checking account is crazy. It will stress you out. I've been so stressed out. God keeps looking out for me though. I am a religious man. I do believe in God. So if you don't, that's on you. I'm not like a super religious going to church. So if I have to be honest, I think a lot of churches are scams. A lot of churches are in it for the money. Not every church, especially your mega churches though, are and everything. And I had an experience growing up with a church. They wanted to build a gym, and the church I went to as a kid, and they would I do an offering 3 times a sermon for the building of their gym to praise God better. And I'm like, you don't need a gym to praise God. And biological mother was a 7-day Adventist, Dad was a Baptist. Each one of them grandparents was determined I was going to be a Seventh-day Adventist or a Baptist. And so as a kid, I went to church every Saturday and every Sunday. And if you don't know a lot about churches, throughout the year, I found out that they all teach about the same thing. They all talk about the same thing. During Christmas, they're all talking about the birth of Jesus. During Easter, they're all talking about the resurrection of Jesus. During fall, they're talking about harvest and seasons and like all the. I swear they're all like, okay, this is the curriculum. Now just teaching your religion. The only crazy thing is there is different beliefs in a 7-day Adventist and a Baptist. So I would go to church on Saturday and say that it is this way and God is this way. And then I would go to church on Sunday and hear that God is actually this way and the Bible means this way, like. So that like I believe in God, but now I kind of got my own like your home is your church type thing, and yeah, like I don't know if any religion is 100%. I mean, the Bible can be interpreted different ways. Anyway, getting off topic, but so now, like I said, we're 30 year in our business. I am buying stuff by the cases online when I get good values in them. Doing shows the end of last year, I was hitting shows every weekend. The wife said, "Nah, that's got to stop." Because apparently our kids love to see their dad. But so now I'm doing 2 shows a month, maybe 3 if there's 5 weekends in a month. I'm trying to have 2 weekends for the kids. And yeah, so that's me. That's Brandon. That's who I am. Been a Pokemon fan ever since '96. When I was a little kid, and Grandma bought me a Pokemon Blue from Kmart, and now here I am owning a Pokemon business. I got a website, jazzpokecenter.com. If you would like to like and subscribe to this video, that's fine. Most of my commenters are haters, unless you're my sister. She's awesome. She comments on most of my videos. And the other comments are calling me fat and a scalper because I scalped a case of Fusion Strike sleeve packs 2 weeks ago. You can't scalp those, okay? Fat, yeah, okay. I might be a little fluffy. Anywho, that's all I got. I just want to do an introduction video, let y'all know a little bit about me, get a little personal. That's all I got. Anyway, bye.